Never let anybody see you sweat. So I was born in New York City, and I lived there until I was 8 years old. I realized that I was a much better talker than I was a listener. I don't know what to say, I just don't like what you're saying.
Sorry, Your Honor.
I ended up going to law school at Georgetown, and I was a prosecutor for Janet Reno. I loved it because it was so raw. Were you cheating on her?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
All rise.
Our show will be a mixture of education, I think you're misreading the law a little bit, and entertainment. My main goal is justice and the law. That's been my legacy, and the legacy I hope to continue into the future with the show.
Ashley Jacobs claims her ex created audio recordings to help her sleep and included subliminal messages to win her back. Mason Dunn says Ms. Jacobs reconciled with him willingly and not as a result of the recordings he made.
All right, Ms. Jacobs, you're suing Mr. Dunn for $10,000 in emotional distress. Talk to me. What happened here?
Hello, Your Honor. Mr. Dunn is my ex-partner.
Okay. How long were you guys together?
We were together for 4 years.
Okay. Were you living together?
Yes,
All right.
we were. We moved in together around a year and a half in to the relationship.
Okay.
We met at a STEM conference. That's where we connected.
At a STEM conference?
Correct.
Science and math?
Yes.
Okay.
Science, technology.
Technology.
Yeah, engineering and mathematics.
Right.
We hit it off right away, and we fell in love, and it was amazing until
Till it wasn't.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So, did you guys break up?
we are now, yes, broken up. We are not
All
together.
right. What kind of work are you in?
I am a middle school teacher.
Okay, and what kind of work are you in?
I'm a mindfulness architect.
What's a mindfulness architect? Oh.
Oh, what we do is we take elements of hypnotherapy and we use it to be able to help clients get through extreme emotional blocks through either positive affirmations, through audio and visual, and AI, sometimes technologies, anything that we can do to help our clients be able to remove emotional blocks from their lives.
And so, do you put out a product or do you put seminar? How is it you do that?
It's traditionally structured very much like life coaching,
Okay.
which is what my background is in originally. It's more person-to-person relationship with a client in terms of being able to help them, again, remove those emotional blocks or identify.
How do you help them to remove emotional blocks? By doing what? What is it? What do you bring to the table, I guess is what I'm asking.
As a mindfulness architect, what I do is I specifically focus on sleep affirmations. So we'll take recordings of positive affirmations to play while you are falling to sleep. In between those REM cycles where someone is suggestive to changes in their life.
Wow. So what does it sound like? If I played one of your tapes, what would I hear?
Very soothing noises. We use a lot of complicated technology to be able to create different frequencies that the brain will be able to respond to be able to heal things like past traumas, help process anger management issues, to be able to do all types of wonderful things to the mind.
So specifically, what are the words that I would hear?
May I interrupt?
Hold on, no, yeah, go on.
You're safe, you belong here, you are confident, you are strong, you are cared for, you're loved, just positive affirmations. It's tailored to each client specifically. We try and find out
and
what
here I've been relying on
need.
Ambien and ChatGPT to affirm me. All right, so that's interesting. Okay, so now you were gonna interrupt, and what were you gonna interrupt with?
I was going to interrupt with my first brink of evidence. You wanted to hear what these recordings sound like, and I have some of these recordings. That's why we are here today.
Okay. Yeah, let's hear it.
Once we broke up, I do believe in a part of his work. I do believe that sleep affirmation is a viable way in inclusion with regular therapy to help with past traumas and stuff and just everyday wellness. So after we broke up, I asked him for some of those affirmations, and I was sent some, and also other things. I was sent a file in evidence here that was quickly erased, but not before I was able to listen to it.
Okay, let's hear the evidence, please.
I'm
so sorry. What are you coming home? I love you, Lisa. I can't live without you. We will always be together. I'm so sorry. I love you, Lisa. I love you, Lisa. We will always be together. I can't live without you.
All right. Well, that certainly put me to sleep. That's your voice.
Yes, ma'am.
You're suing for $10,000 in emotional distress because he used your voice?
Correct.
Coming up on Justice for the People.
This new one was an experimental procedure that I had used with
Where
data.
you're telling the girl who dumped you because you worked too hard that she actually loves you and that, she wants to be with you forever.
What I
Come on, dude, just admit it. You wanted to get back together, right?
And later,
Emma was born and he decided to drink all the time. And that went on for about 2 to 3 years.
Why do you suppose that was? Do you have any ideas or?
Maybe he couldn't handle stepping up as a man to be a dad.
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Emmy-nominated Justice for the People with Judge Milian. We're back with the case of Ashley Jacobs, who blames Mason Dunn for manipulating her with sleep recordings.
Did you use her voice?
Yes, but
Without your authority is what you're saying?
Correct.
Go ahead, and what were you gonna say?
not anything that I would not have had access to otherwise.
Wait, how did you have her taping things like I love you, Mason?
We have a shared drive full of voice notes for.
Okay, so it's stuff that she'd already taped for you?
Stuff
or?
that has already been taped either
Well,
for
what
her
was the
students.
intent? Okay, I love you, Mason isn't something you'd sell to other people. So, so what was that? That stuff that you taped for each other?
That's stuff that either came from voicemails or voice notes or memos. These are things that we've had in a shared drive that I've had access to and that I've restored her access to recently.
Did you guys break up before this?
Yes.
And why did you break up?
We broke up because he became distant and he started caring more about his work than me and our relationship.
Okay. Well, better to find that out now than later.
Yes, ma'am.
So you break up, and after that is when you get these tapes?
Yes.
So you're still talking to each other?
Correct. I reached out after the breakup because, like I said, I do believe in his sleep affirmations. So then he did send me, and I do have a screenshot if you want to look.
Did you tell him you were having trouble sleeping?
I did, yes.
And so he made these, this tape for you, and it's you talking about how much you love him?
Correct, using Splice.
I think he was trying to subliminally, that's what you feel, that he was manipulating you.
Correct, feel that I have been subconsciously controlled and manipulated into moving back in with him.
Okay, so what you prepare for her so she can sleep is, I love you, Mason, we'll always be together. Were you trying to get back with her, obviously?
What I have prepared is this is the third version of one of these sleep affirmation recordings. The original ones had audio that was along the lines of you are safe, you are respected, you're cared for here. This new one was an experimental procedure that I had used with
Where
data.
you're telling the girl who dumped you because you worked too hard that she actually loves you and that, she wants to be with you forever.
Come
on, dude, just admit it. You wanted to get back together, right?
I am unable to force anyone to do anything.
That's not my
regardless
question.
of what I want. I can't force her to move back.
My question is, at the time that you created this, you wanted to get back, just admit it. You wanted to get back together, right? You kind of wanted to...
Yes,
we
I was
all know
hurt
the answer. You can answer.
As being hurt by that relationship, yes, at that time I would have wanted to get back together. But
and why is someone expressing to you that he would love to get back together worth $10,000 in emotional distress? Why don't you just say no, like the rest of us do? Why do you get to sue for $10,000 in emotional distress over someone clearly trying to get back together with you?
Because the $10,000 also stems from the financial loss that I have had, because through the subconscious messages in my sleep, I feel as if I have been manipulated to move back in and to get back together with him.
What, did you? Did you move back in and get back together with him?
Momentarily, yes.
Oh, you did?
And
okay, how long did that last?
2 months. Not
Okay,
very
and
long.
then what'd you do?
And then I left again, moved back with my parents, but I quit my job.
And your heart's still ticking, your brain's still working, everything's okay, right?
I'm alive,
Tell
yes.
me what your emotional distress is then, that I would order him to pay you $10,000 because he tried to persuade you to come back, and you did. Okay.
The emotional distress would be for the years leading up to it, and then the year, but also because I now am out of a job.
Why?
I am going through a lot of mental health crisis that I'm trying to work through, and I think it stems from this relationship and from the
But I thought you
manipulation
said you were really
and
happy
control.
until he just got really busy at work. He wasn't abusive, he was just busy at work.
It felt like I was being ignored. I felt like I was just this homemaker.
Oh, honey,
he wouldn't eat the food in front of me.
Yeah, I understand that. And you know what the rest of us have to do when that happens? We got to break up, move on, and find someone else to ignore us. You know, that's what the rest of us do. Why would this amount to $10,000 in your pocket? I think you're just upset. You're upset about how the relationship went, and you want to make some kind of point. I don't think that him using some tapes of affirmations you made and you listening to them and then saying, I do want to get back together, and then getting back together and then saying, he's ignoring me again. That's just stuff we all go through when we're trying to find the one. You got to kiss a lot of frogs, no offense, until you get to the prince. It's just how it works, you know? But that doesn't translate to $10,000 in emotional distress. My verdict in this case is for the defendant.
All rise.
Judge Milian has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim is denied.
Any last remarks for each other?
No.
I still care.
Coming up,
Just so you wouldn't hurt her feelings, you put her name on the registration?
Well, she wanted to feel included.
Well, but you're the guy who totaled her car.
you're watching Emmy-nominated Justice for the People with Judge Milian. Veronica Butcher claims she took her ex to court for child support, and he retaliated by stealing her car. Michael Hanna says Ms. Butcher trash-talked him to his new girlfriend, so he took back the car he was paying for.
Okay, Ms. Butcher, you are suing Mr. Hanna for $4,869 in car payments that you had to make that you say he was supposed to make. Tell me what happened here. How do you know each other?
Yes, Your Honor. We met in 2017. We started dating. He moved into my place in 2018. I shortly became pregnant with his daughter, Emma. In 2018, he decided to wreck my car that was already paid off, my Mazda, and he said he would buy me a new car to make up for it, and that was this 2012 Subaru. So he bought it.
Whose name was it placed under?
Both of ours.
Okay. When do things turn sour between you two?
Well, our daughter Emma was born, and he decided to drink all the time. And that went on for about 2 to 3 years.
Why do you suppose that was? Do you have any ideas, or?
Maybe he couldn't handle stepping up as a man to be a dad.
Okay.
And I decided in 2021 that I just didn't want her to be around that anymore.
Okay.
And I kicked him out.
So you kick him out, he
Yes.
leaves. Does he take the Subaru?
No,
Okay.
I still had it because he knew I had to get to work, and I was taking Emma to
And
a
then
babysitter.
he just stopped making the payments.
Correct.
Was he
After I
paying
kicked him
child
out.
support?
Not officially. He was helping out with diapers, clothes. I did go in 2024 and took him to court for child support because I needed something consistent.
Let me hear from you, Mr. Hanna.
I did total her car back in the day, several years ago. And I said I would get her a car to drive, but I paid for it. It was my loan. I got approved for the loan. And I put her name on the title and the registration just because, you know, we were still dating. I wanted her to be included.
Wait, so just so you wouldn't hurt her feelings, you put her name on the
Right.
registration?
Well, she wanted to feel included.
Well,
so.
but you're the guy who totaled her car.
Coming up,
So she took me to court again for child support, which is fine, I get it.
And did you have to pay more after the court?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah,
So,
because
and-
apparently what you were giving her wasn't enough.
you're watching Emmy-nominated Justice for the People with Judge Milian. We're back with the case of Veronica Butcher, who brought Michael Hanna to court for allegedly stealing her car.
All right, so go on.
It was fine. I wanted to help out with Emma, that's our daughter, and I was letting her still use the car because she needed it. And so I was like, that's fine, you know.
Did you stop making the payments, or were you still making the payments?
Well, I stopped making the payments whenever she kind of kicked me out, and I was like, all right, well.
How do you come up with the $4,869? That's the total of the car payments?
That's the total of the Blue Book value of the 2012 Subaru.
The 2012 Subaru you drive still.
He stole it from me later.
Oh, when did that happen?
In 2024, after I filed child support, he
geez.
retaliated by stealing it from me overnight. I went out to take my daughter to preschool in the morning and found it was gone.
How many payments were left at that time?
6.
And did you
that
make
I
those
made.
payments?
Yes,
All right.
on time.
And then,
Yeah.
so go on.
So yeah, she did. I mean, that was kind of, in my head, that was the deal. Like if she kept making the payments and she could use the car, that was fine.
Well, then why'd you take the car? She says you took the car.
So I wasn't going to, but then she wanted, apparently what I was giving her wasn't enough, so she took me to court again for child support, which is fine, I get it.
And did you have to pay more after the court?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah,
So,
because
and-
apparently what you were giving her wasn't enough.
Yeah, well, so then that's fine. Like if the
But
court.
that's fine, but I'm gonna punish you and steal a car.
No, I didn't punish her. It's just like, well, if I got to pay alimony, and that's fine, but I'm going to use.
That's not alimony. You had to pay child support.
Sorry,
She took
you're
you to
right.
court for child support.
Yeah, I got that
is
mixed
for
up.
the baby you spawned. It is not for her. Okay? You literally are punishing her because she had the nerve to go to child support court because you weren't ponying up enough.
Well, no, that's not. I don't think that. I think it's different than that, Your Honor.
Judge Milian's verdict when Justice for the People returns. You're watching Emmy-nominated Justice for the People with Judge Milian.
Like, not only did it wasn't just the child support, she was harassing my new girlfriend.
How was she harassing your new girlfriend?
Well, she went to her workplace and was making a big story about things, saying like, I'm just a deadbeat and I'm a loser. The same
Did you
thing
go to the new girlfriend's workplace?
I did.
What'd you do?
I wanted to warn her.
What?
From someone who's been through it, I didn't want him to get away with this.
So you decided to go to the workplace?
Yes.
How do you guys effectively co-parent, one-upping each other all the time like this?
It's not healthy.
No, it's not. I'm ruling in favor of Miss Butcher and the amount of the value of the car that you took back. $4,869, verdict for the plaintiff.
All rise.
Judge Milian has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. Defendant owes $4,869.
I'm happy to be done with him.
It's worth a lot more.
Exit this way, please. Make sure you grab all of your belongings.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.